Okay, how are we going to do our work? We're going to do it in Canvas. Every single bit of our work will be in Canvas, and I'm going to really encourage you to work from the modules and not the to-do list or the course calendar. I've seen Canvas do really funky things with the calendar and to-do list. Sometimes it'll drop assignments in there that don't belong there, or worse, it won't put assignments in your to-do list or your calendar that you really need to complete, and then the deadline passes and you haven't completed those assignments. But if you work from the modules in our course, you will know exactly what it is that you need to do and the order in which you do it for every single week of the semester, and you will never miss an assignment. All right, so what kinds of work are we going to do? One of the kinds of work we're going to do is our thought primers. You're going to have one thought primer every week, and most of the thought primers are structured very similarly. They're going to open with some questions related to the issues we're going to be exploring that week. You're going to write your responses to those questions just to get your brain kind of warmed up and get you oriented in the direction of the inquiry that we're going to be making that week. So you'll write your responses to the opening questions. You're looking to write about a page, typed, double-spaced, to 2 pages. If you're writing less than a page, that probably means you're not thinking these questions through deeply enough. And so you want to make sure you're always writing at least a page on your thought primers. More is fine. But if you write less than a page, you're probably going to start getting nasty grams from me. Okay, so the thought primers are going to open up with some questions for you to respond to, and then there will usually be some reading that you need to do. And then there will be a series of video lectures where I'll be taking us through the issues of the week and all the different concepts and ideas that we're going to be exploring. Embedded in each of the thought primers are quizzes. There will be quizzes that are related to the reading that you're doing and quizzes related to the video lectures. And the quizzes are really easy. They're not difficult quizzes. They're all multiple choice, and you get 2 attempts and unlimited time at each quiz. So you can go in for your first attempt, answer all the questions, look at which of those questions you got correct and incorrect, and then go right back into the quiz to see the same questions in the same order, and then you just want to make sure that you answer the ones you got correct the same way on that second attempt, but don't answer the ones you got incorrect on the first attempt the same way on that second attempt. All right, so you've got these questions, you've got some quizzes, you've got some readings, you've got some lectures, and once you've completed the written responses to those opening questions and watched the lectures and completed the quizzes, you just got 1 point for your 2-point thought primer. You get the other point for each week's thought primer by going over to the Canvas discussion board and participating in the discussion that will be taking place there. Each week there will be new discussion threads pinned at the top of the discussion page, and you need to go in there and respond to something that I've posted, create your own post, respond to a classmate's post, but we want to see you getting involved in that discussion on the discussion board. And the moment that you do that, you will have gotten the 2nd point for your weekly thought primer. Okay, so thought primer are worth 2 points each, 1 point for your submission of your responses to those opening questions, and 1 point for your participation on the discussion board. These thought primers are going to be due every single Sunday of the semester by 11:59 p.m. So by 11:59 p.m. you want to make sure that you have submitted your responses to the opening questions in the thought primer and participated on the discussion board, because those pinned discussions, those pinned weekly discussions on the discussion board will be closed for comment after 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. So you want to make sure that you are getting all of your work done before that deadline. Otherwise, you won't be able to complete it. As a bonus, you could submit your responses to the thought primer questions and participate on the discussion board by Thursday night at 11:59 p.m. and you'll get a ½ point extra credit on that thought primer, okay? So if you submit both your questions, both your responses to the opening questions in the thought primer, and you participate on the discussion board by Thursday rather than Sunday at 11:59 p.m., you'll get a ½ point extra credit on that thought primer, and those ½ points are going to add up. Okay, so in addition to the thought primers and the quizzes, we're also going to write a couple of ethical inquiries. These are not essays. We don't have any essays in this course. We don't have any final exams. There's no midterm exam. It's just thought primers, quizzes, and these inquiries. The inquiries will be opportunities for you to address some questions in more detail, to kind of flesh out your thinking, get a sense of where you're at on these issues that we're exploring and what the questions are that are remaining for you. We have no required class meetings. You'll do all this work on your own timeline, meeting my deadlines of Sundays at 11:59 p.m. But when you do it during the day and how you do it is totally up to you. All right, what do you need? There is one book that is required of you. You have to get your hands on a hard copy of this book. It's called Justice by Michael Sandel. Students really like it. I just asked a class a couple of weeks ago at the end of the semester, it's like, this book was written in 2015. It started to seem kind of dated to me, and the class was unanimous. And they're like, no, keep this book. It's got really interesting examples in it. So students tend to like this book. You'll notice that the CR bookstore may have another text identified as a required text, and it is a required text. However, if you choose not to purchase that other book, that you'll be fine, because I've linked all of the readings that are required from that book in the Canvas site. So you can download those readings from the other book that's listed in the CR bookstore from the Canvas site. All right, but if you want to buy it, fine. There's probably plenty of used copies floating around town. And Justice you'll be able to find for probably $12 used on Amazon or something like that. All right, so that's what you need, just this one book. And if you choose to buy the other one, that's great, but you don't have to, because all of that reading will be available to you for free in the Canvas site.